Have you ever felt a sudden urge to stop walking, only to see a car speed past exactly where you would have stood? Or perhaps, in your darkest moment of loneliness, a sudden wave of warmth wrapped around you, whispering that everything will be okay. Listen to me closely. You are not lucky. You are protected. But did you know that based on the time you entered this world, there is a specific angelic frequency assigned to guide you? Welcome to Revelation in Prophecy. Today we are not just talking about myths. We are unveiling the biblical secret of activating your guardian angel's protection. Many people walk through life with their spiritual shield down. Today, we turn it on. Find your birth month inside, because your guardian is waiting for your signal. Before we reveal the specific guidance for your month, you must understand the activation key. Psalm 91 says, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." But here is the truth that churches rarely teach you. Angels respect your free will. They are gentlemen, not intruders. To activate their protection, you must invite them. It starts with a simple, spoken permission. Say this with me right now in your heart. I accept the divine protection assigned to my life. Good. Now the channel is open. Let's find your guardian. Group 1. January, February, March. If you were born in the first quarter of the year, January, February, or March, your spirit is that of an architect. You often face the burden of new beginnings. You worry about the future more than anyone else. Your guardian angel is a warrior of clarification. To activate them, when you feel confused or overwhelmed, ask specifically for clarity, not just help. They are waiting to clear the path, but they need you to stop carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders alone. Let them carry it for you. Group 2, April, May, June. For those born in April, May, and June, you are the healers and the nurturers. Your hidden pain is that you give too much and receive too little. You often feel drained. Your guardian angel specializes in restoration. Their protection activates when you finally say no to toxic situations. They are here to protect your heart. If you are seeing repeated numbers like 4 to 4, 4, or feeling a sudden breeze indoors, they are trying to tell you it is time to heal yourself now. Group 3, July, August, September. July, August, and September. You are the protectors of the family. You value loyalty above all, but you have been betrayed in the past, haven't you? Your guardian angel operates as a shield of truth. To activate them, you must let go of the need for revenge or justice. Let them handle the battles. Scripture says, "Vengeance is mine, says the Lord." Hand your battles over to your angel today, and watch how quickly the tables turn in your favor. Group 4, October, November, December. And finally, the year enders. October, November, and December. You are the messengers of wisdom. You see things others miss. You often feel misunderstood, or like an old soul. Your guardian angel provides divine wisdom. Your protection is activated through silence. In a noisy world, your angel speaks in the quiet moments. If you have been waking up between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., do not be afraid. That is your activation hour. Listen to what they are saying. No matter which month you were born, remember this: you are never walking alone. The invisible hand of God is always within reach. Here is my challenge to you. I want you to declare your activation today. Scroll down and comment your birth month, followed by the words, "I receive protection." For example, "May I receive protection." I will personally join my faith with yours in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Revelation in Prophecy to keep your spiritual shield raised. May God bless you and keep you safe. My friend, You have just whispered the prayer of activation. You have invited the divine into your space. But remember, walking with your guardian angel is not a one-time ritual. It is a daily lifestyle. It is the art of seeing the invisible in the midst of the ordinary. Many of us look for God in thunder and lightning, but his angels often work in the traffic jams that slow us down, the lost keys that keep us home, and the sudden silence that fills a lonely room. We often think heaven is far away, but the truth is, the veil between you and your protector is thinner than a breath. Here are 10 spiritual philosophies to help you recognize their voice in the noise of your modern life. 1. The philosophy of the closed door. Rejection is often divine protection, disguised as bad luck. We cry when we lose a job, a relationship, or an opportunity, thinking our prayers were ignored. But from a higher perspective, the angel sees the cliff edge that we were blindly walking toward. A man sat on his porch, holding a letter of rejection, his head in his hands. He looked up at the empty sky and whispered, "Why did you let this door close? I needed this." His guardian angel, standing unseen beside him, placed a hand on his shoulder and replied, "I didn't just close the door, my child. I locked it, because behind that door was a fire that would have consumed your peace. I am not keeping you from success. I am keeping you for a better destiny. Trust the lock." 2. The philosophy of the heavy load. We were designed to carry love, not worry. When we try to carry the weight of tomorrow, the bills, the health scares, the political unrest, we occupy the space where our wings should be. An angel cannot carry your burden if your hands are too tight to let it go. A woman stood in her kitchen, staring at a stack of unpaid medical bills, her chest tight with anxiety. "It is too much," she wept. "I have no strength left." The angel of provision leaned in close, whispering into the silence of the room. "You are tired because you are trying to do my job. You are the child. I am the warrior. Your job is to trust. My job is to fight. Put the stone down. You cannot fly while holding a mountain." 3. The philosophy of the 3 a.m. wake-up call. Silence is the loudest language of heaven. In the hustle of the American lifestyle, the phones, the TV, the traffic, our spiritual frequency gets jammed. Sometimes the only time an angel can get a clear signal to your heart is when the world is asleep. A young man woke up suddenly at 3:33 a.m., frustrated and reaching for his phone to check social media. "Why can't I just sleep?" he grumbled. His guardian angel sat calmly at the foot of the bed, watching him. "I woke you because it is the only time you are still enough to listen," the angel said. "Put the phone down. I don't want to disturb your sleep. I want to disturb your distraction. We have things to discuss that cannot wait for the morning noise." 4. The philosophy of the delayed step. Patience is not waiting. It is being protected from premature danger. We rush through life, angry at red lights and slow lines, forgetting that time is a tool in the hands of the divine. A delay is often the gap between life and death. A businessman slammed his hand on the steering wheel, stuck in gridlock traffic. "I'm going to be late for the most important meeting of my life," he shouted. Beside him in the passenger seat, his guardian angel smiled gently, looking at the intersection 2 miles ahead. "You are not late," the angel whispered. "You are right on time. If I hadn't stalled that engine in front of you, you would have been in the middle of that intersection exactly when the truck ran the red light. I broke your schedule to save your future." 5. The philosophy of the empty chair. Loneliness is an illusion of the human eye. We feel isolated because we focus on the physical absence of people rather than the spiritual presence of God. You have never, not for one single second, been truly alone in a room. An elderly woman sat at a large dining table set for one. The silence of the house felt heavy, and she sighed, "I am all alone in this world." Her guardian angel, whose wings spanned the width of the room, sat in the empty chair opposite her. "If your eyes were opened," the angel said softly, "you would see that this room is crowded with love. I have been here since your first breath, and I will be here until your last. You are only solitary, never lonely. Eat, my dear. We are dining together." 6. The philosophy of the intuitive nudge. The gut feeling is often the angel's whisper. It doesn't scream, it suggests. It is that sudden hesitation before signing a contract, or the sudden urge to call an old friend. Logic screams, but intuition whispers the truth. A girl stood before two paths in the woods, holding a map that pointed left, but her stomach turned every time she looked that way. "The map says left, so why do I want to go right?" she wondered. The angel of guidance stood pointing to the right path, unseen. "The map was drawn by men," the angel whispered, "but I can see around the corner. The map does not know about the wolf. Trust the feeling in your gut. It is my voice echoing in your spirit." 7. The philosophy of forgiveness. Resentment is a wall that blocks angelic entry. When we hold on to anger, we build a fortress that keeps our enemies out, but it also keeps our blessings out. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It is the demolition of the wall so your angel can enter. A man lay awake, replaying an argument with his brother from 10 years ago, his heart burning with old anger. "I will never forgive him," he vowed. His guardian angel stood outside the door of his heart, holding a golden box of blessings, unable to enter. "I have healing for you," the angel said sadly, "but your hands are too full of knives to receive this gift. Drop the knife. Open the door. The prisoner you are punishing is not your brother, it is you." 8. The philosophy of the wrong turn. Mistakes are often reroutes to destiny. We beat ourselves up for making bad decisions, not realizing that our angel uses our stumbling blocks as stepping stones. There is no mess too big for a miracle. A woman cried over a failed business, looking at the bankruptcy papers. "I ruined everything. I went the wrong way," she sobbed. The angel of restoration knelt beside her. "You did not ruin God's plan. You are too small to destroy what He has ordained. This failure was the only way to get you out of a path that was too small for your whole soul. We are not at the end. We are just at the detour that leads to the real destination." 9. The philosophy of the feather. Small signs are big confirmations. We ask for burning bushes and parting seas, but angels speak in the language of the subtle. A white feather, a repeated number, a specific song on the radio. These are not coincidences. They are love letters. A man walked down a busy city street, head down, asking God for a sign. He stepped right over a pristine white feather lying on the dirty concrete. "God never answers me," he thought. His guardian angel walked behind him, shaking his head with a smile. "I dropped that right at your feet," the angel laughed softly. "I cannot send you a text message, so I use the physics of the world. Stop looking for the lightning and look for the leaf. I am shouting I love you in 1,000 quiet ways." 10. The philosophy of permission. Angels are gentlemen. They require an invitation. The law of free will is absolute. They stand ready with swords drawn and shields raised, but they cannot intervene in your spiritual battle until you authorize them with your faith. A father watched his family falling apart, feeling helpless. He sat in his chair, silent and paralyzed. Why aren't you doing anything? He thought towards heaven. The mighty guardian stood tall in the corner of the room, hand on the hilt of a glowing sword, waiting. I am ready, the angel declared. I have the power to shift the atmosphere of this home, but you must speak the word. You must say, I invite God's order into this chaos. I am not a spectator, but I need your command to be a participant. Authorize me. 11. The philosophy of the lost key. Frustration is often a divine delay. When we cannot find our keys, phone, or wallet, we panic and blame our memory. But often, the angel hides these items to alter our timeline by just a few necessary minutes, keeping us out of harm's way. A young executive was tearing apart his living room, sweating and shouting, "Where are my keys? I am going to miss the train!" The guardian angel stood by the door, holding the keys invisible in his hand. He watched the man panic with a calm gaze. I will return them to you in 2 minutes, the angel whispered. If you leave now, you will cross the street when the drunk driver runs the light. Your anger is valid, but my protection is vital. Be late and live. 12. The philosophy of the sudden rain. Inconvenience is sometimes a cleansing. We complain when the rain ruins our picnic or our hair, seeing it as nature working against us. But spiritually, rain is a reset button for the atmosphere, washing away the heavy, stagnant energy that has gathered around us. A woman stood under a bus stop shelter, shivering as the sudden storm soaked her shoes. Great, she muttered. Now my whole day is ruined. Her angel stood in the rain, letting the water pass through his glowing form. Do not curse the water, he said gently. The air around you was thick with the jealousy and anger of the people you just met. I sent the storm to wash your aura clean. You are not wet. You are being baptized from the negativity of the world. 13. The philosophy of the unsent text. Restraint is the highest form of spiritual warfare. We often regret the words we didn't say, thinking we showed weakness. But when your thumb hovers over the send button and you suddenly decide to delete the angry message, that is your angel holding your hand back. A teenager sat on his bed, his thumbs flying across the screen, typing a furious message to a friend who betrayed him. Suddenly, he felt a heaviness in his chest and deleted it all. I'm just a coward, he sighed. The angel of peace sat beside him. You are not a coward. You are a king who knows how to rule his tongue. If you had sent that, you would have started a fire that would burn for years. I held your finger back. Silence is not weakness. It is the sound of a stopped war. 14. The philosophy of the stray dog. Compassion is a test of character. How we treat the vulnerable, animals, the homeless, the elderly, is how we treat God. Angels often disguise themselves in the form of the needy to see if our hearts are truly open. A busy man walked past a shivering, dirty dog tied to a post. He walked 10 steps, stopped and turned back to give the dog his sandwich. I don't have time for this, he thought. The angel, who was watching not the dog but the man's heart, nodded. You passed, the angel whispered. You thought you were feeding a dog, but you were feeding your own soul. The smallest act of kindness echoes louder in heaven than the longest prayer in church. 15. The philosophy of the broken glass. Accidents are sometimes energy absorption. When a favorite cup or mirror breaks for no reason, we mourn the object. But often, that object sacrificed itself to absorb a sudden spike of negative energy directed at you. A housewife gasped as her favorite vase shattered on the floor without being touched. That was my grandmother's. Why is this happening? She cried. Her guardian angel stood over the shards. "Do not weep for the glass," he said. "A spirit of malice entered this room, aimed at your heart. The vase took the blow so you wouldn't have to. Sweep it up with gratitude. It gave its life for your peace." 16. The philosophy of the traffic jam. Stillness is forced upon us when we refuse to rest. We curse the gridlock, but the angel sees a tired driver who is seconds away from falling asleep at the wheel. The traffic jam is a divine pause button. A truck driver pounded his steering wheel, his eyes red with fatigue. "Move!" he screamed at the cars ahead. The angel of safety sat on the hood of the truck. "Sleep, my son," the angel soothed. "I have stopped the world for 20 minutes because your body is screaming for rest. If I let you drive at full speed now, you will not make it home. Use this pause to breathe. The road will wait." 17. The philosophy of the distant friend. Separation is preparation. When friends drift away or stop calling, we feel rejected. But angels often remove people from our lives because their chapter is finished, and they cannot go where you are growing. A woman looked at her phone, realizing her best friend hadn't called in months. "What did I do wrong?" she wondered. The angel of destiny placed a hand on her heart. "You grew," the angel replied. "You are climbing a mountain, and they decided to set up camp in the valley. If I let them stay attached to you, their weight would pull you back down. Bless them, love them, but let them go. Your summit is waiting." 18. The philosophy of the empty wallet. Scarcity is an invitation to trust. When the bank account is low, fear sets in. But this is the season where the angel of provision teaches you that your source is not your job, but your creator. A father looked at his empty wallet, worry lines etched on his face. "I cannot provide," he whispered in shame. The angel stood by the pantry. "Look at the birds," the angel said. "They have no wallets, yet they sing every morning. You are worried about money, but I am working on opportunity. Your currency is faith, not paper. Trust me, and watch how the meal appears on the table." 19. The philosophy of the night terror. Fear is a signal to ignite your light. When we wake up from a nightmare, heart pounding, we feel attacked. But this is your spiritual alarm clock, telling you that your light is needed in the spiritual realm. A child woke up screaming, hiding under the covers. "There are monsters!" The warrior angel stood tall by the bed, sword drawn, glowing with a fierce blue light. "There are no monsters that can touch you while I am here," the angel declared. "But you felt the darkness, so you would learn to turn on your light. Pray, little one. Your voice is the weapon that drives them away. Speak, and I will strike." 20. The philosophy of the cold coffee distraction is a thief of joy. We drink our coffee while checking emails, never tasting it. We live our lives while planning the future, never living it. Angels try to slow us down to taste the moment. A writer stared at his cold cup of coffee, annoyed. "I was so busy writing I forgot to drink it." His muse, an angel of inspiration, leaned over his shoulder. "You were not writing. You were worrying about who would read it. I let the coffee go cold to show you that while you were living in the future, the warmth of the present died. Drink it cold and taste the lesson. Be here now." 21. The philosophy of the unanswered prayer. Silence is not a no, it is a not yet. We pray for things, a lover, a job, a healing, and when nothing happens, we think God is deaf. But the angel sees that the thing we want would destroy us if we got it too soon. A man knelt in a church, tears streaming. I asked for her to love me. Why didn't you make it happen?" The angel of love stood sadly behind him. "Because if she loved you now, she would break you later. She is not ready, and you are not strong enough to carry her chaos. I am saving you from a heartbreak that would never heal. Trust the silence. It is saving your life." 22. The philosophy of the stubbed toe. Pain is a reminder of the body. We live so much in our heads that we forget we are physical beings. A sharp, sudden pain snaps us back into reality, grounding us. A woman hopped around the kitchen, clutching her foot. "Ouch! Why am I so clumsy?" Her guardian chuckled softly. "You were walking while thinking about 10 years from now," the angel said. "I needed you to come back to this kitchen, this moment, this body. Pain is a crude teacher, but it demands attention. Be where your feet are." 23. The philosophy of the birds. Singing. Joy is a frequency, not a circumstance. Birds sing not because they have food, but because they have life. Angels use nature to tune our frequency back to gratitude. An old man sat on a park bench, feeling the ache in his bones. He heard a sparrow chirping loudly. "What do you have to be so happy about?" he grumbled. The angel of comfort sat next to him. "The bird is singing for you," the angel whispered. "It is tuning the air to the frequency of praise. Listen closely. The song is trying to break the chains of your pain. Joy is a choice. Join the choir." 24. The philosophy of the stranger's smile. Connection is a divine spark. When a stranger smiles at you for no reason, it is often an angel using a human face to tell you that you are seen and loved. A girl walked through a crowded mall feeling invisible and ugly. A passing stranger caught her eye and gave a warm, genuine smile. The angel walked between them. "I borrowed that stranger's face for 1 second, the angel revealed. "I wanted you to know that you are beautiful. You looked down. I needed you to look up. You are seen, my child. You are radiant." 25. The philosophy of the failed plan. Detours are better than dead ends. We map out our lives, and when the plan fails, we despair. But the angel sees the bridge out on the road ahead and forces the car off-road to keep it safe. A student stared at a rejection letter from her dream college. "My life is over," she cried. The angel of wisdom shook his head. "Your life is just beginning. That college was a path to a career that would have made you rich but miserable. I have closed that gate to force you onto the narrow path where your true purpose lies. You lost a plan, but you found a destiny." 26. The philosophy of the sudden breeze. Presence is felt, not seen. When you are indoors with windows closed, and you feel a sudden cool breeze or a shift in the air, do not dismiss it. It is the hug of the divine. A grieving widow sat in her armchair. Suddenly, the air around her felt cool and smelled of roses. She looked around, confused. Her guardian angel wrapped wings of light around her. "I cannot hold your hand with skin," the angel whispered, "so I hold you with the wind. I am shifting the atmosphere to let you know he is okay, and you are not alone. Breathe it in. This is the scent of heaven." 27. The philosophy of the misplaced glasses. Clarity comes from within. When we lose our glasses and cannot see the world clearly, we are forced to look inward. It is a moment to stop looking at the world and start feeling it. An artist panicked, searching for his glasses. "I can't paint if I can't see." The angel of creativity stood by the easel. "You have been painting what you see with your eyes too much," the angel said. "Paint what you feel. Paint the blur. Sometimes, to see the truth, you must first be blind to the details. I hid your sight so you would find your vision. 28. The philosophy of the ringing ear. Frequency is a call to listen. A sudden high-pitched ring in the ear is not always tinnitus. It is often a download of spiritual information, a shift in your vibration. A mechanic rubbed his ear, grimacing at the high-pitched sound. My ears are ringing again. The angel of revelation stood close. Someone is praying for you right now, the angel whispered. That sound is the echo of their prayer hitting your spirit. Or perhaps it is a warning. Stop what you are doing, look around and listen. The universe is trying to get your attention. 29. The philosophy of the uncomfortable chair. Discomfort is a catalyst for movement. If we were always comfortable, we would never move. Angels allow thorns in our nest to force us to fly. A man shifted uncomfortably in his office chair. I hate this job. I hate this chair. I hate this office, he muttered. The angel of growth stood behind the desk. If this chair were comfortable, you would stay here for another 20 years and waste your talent, the angel said sternly. I made it uncomfortable so you would finally stand up and walk out the door towards your dreams. The discomfort is your fuel. Use it. 30. The philosophy of the last minute timing is God's signature. We panic when help doesn't arrive until the very last second. But God loves the cliffhanger because it proves that it was Him, not luck. A mother prayed by her sick child's bed, watching the fever rise. At the very last moment, the fever broke and the child slept. You took so long, she wept. The angel of healing stroked the child's hair. I was never late, the angel whispered. I waited until you had exhausted all your strength, so that when the miracle happened, you would know it came from above. Your extremity is God's opportunity. Rest now. The morning has come. 31. The philosophy of the mirror. Aging is not decay. It is the etching of experience. We look in the mirror and mourn our wrinkles, seeing them as flaws. But angels see them as rivers of wisdom carved by the tears and smiles of a life fully lived. A woman stood before her mirror, pulling at the skin of her face, sighing at the deep lines. I look so old and tired, she whispered. Her guardian angel stood behind her reflection. Do not hate the map of your life, the angel said softly. That line by your mouth? That is the mark of the laughter you shared with your children. That furrow in your brow, that is the strength you used to survive the storm. You are not fading, you are becoming a masterpiece. Wear your history with pride. 32. The philosophy of the dead. Battery. Disconnection is a divine invitation to reconnect. When our phone dies or the internet goes out, we feel cut off from the world. But this is often a deliberate act by your angel to cut the cord of digital noise so you can hear the spiritual signal. A businessman tapped furiously on his dead phone screen in a park. Great. Now I am cut off from everyone, he groaned. The angel of peace sat on the bench beside him. You are finally connected, the angel corrected. Look up. The trees are breathing. The wind is speaking. I drained your battery because your soul was running on empty. You needed to unplug from the matrix to plug back into the source. 33. The philosophy of the old song. Nostalgia is time travel for the soul. When a song from decades ago plays on the radio and brings tears to your eyes, it is not just a memory. It is your angel bringing a piece of your past joy to heal your present pain. A man driving his car froze as an old melody from his high school prom played. He pulled over, overwhelmed by a sudden wave of emotion. Why am I crying over a song? He wondered. His guardian angel sat in the passenger seat. I requested this song, the angel smiled. You have forgotten who you used to be, full of hope and fire. I played this to remind you that the young dreamer is still alive inside you. Welcome him back. 34. The philosophy of the locked jaw. Tension is a silent scream. We carry stress in our bodies, clenched jaws, tight shoulders, thinking we are holding it together. But the body keeps the score. Your angel points to this pain to tell you to release control. A mother lay in bed, her jaw aching from grinding her teeth all night, worrying about her son. I just can't relax, she thought. The angel of release placed cool hands on her cheeks. You are trying to control the wind with your teeth, the angel whispered. Clenching your jaw will not change his path. Let go. Breathe. Unclench your hands and your heart, and let me take the wheel. 35. The philosophy of the hospital. Waiting room. Fear is the shadow. Faith is the substance. Waiting for medical results is one of the hardest human experiences. The sterile smell, the ticking clock, it all feels cold. But these rooms are the most crowded with angelic activity. A husband paced back and forth in the corridor, terrified of the surgery outcome. I'm so alone here, he shook. The angel of healing stood right in the doorway of the operating room. You are pacing the hallway, but I am in the room guiding the surgeon's hands, the angel reassured him. This hospital is not a house of death, it is a workshop of repair. Sit down. Your pacing feeds the fear. Your prayer fuels the miracle. 36. The philosophy of the garden weed. Thoughts are seeds. We wonder why our lives feel chaotic, yet we allow negative thoughts to grow wild in our minds. Pulling a weed in your garden is a physical lesson in spiritual mental hygiene. A gardener yanked a stubborn weed from the soil, frustrated. They just keep coming back. The angel of the mind stood amidst the flowers. Just like your worries, the angel noted. You water your fears every morning with attention, and then wonder why you have a forest of anxiety. Treat your mind like this garden. If a thought does not bear fruit, pull it out by the root immediately. Do not let the weeds steal the sun. 37. The philosophy of the burnt-out light bulb. Darkness is a canvas for light. When a light bulb pops and leaves us in the dark, we are annoyed. But symbolically, it represents the end of an old idea or an old way of seeing things. A writer sat in his study when the lamp suddenly blew out. Perfect. I can't see anything now, he sighed. The angel of inspiration glowed softly in the corner. You were staring too hard at the problem, the angel said. I turned off the light so you would stop looking with your eyes and start seeing with your imagination. Sometimes you need the dark to find the spark. Change the bulb, but change your perspective too. 38. The philosophy of the stranger's anger. Projection is pain in disguise. When a cashier or a driver yells at you for no reason, do not absorb it. It is not about you. It is their internal cup of pain spilling over onto the nearest person. A woman stood shocked as a man in line screamed at her for moving too slowly. She felt tears stinging her eyes. What did I do? She trembled. Her angel stepped between them like a shield. He does not see you, the angel explained. He is screaming at his broken marriage, his debt, his fear. You just happen to be standing there. Do not accept this gift of poison. Step aside and let it fall to the ground. It is not yours to carry. 39. The philosophy of the dusty Bible. Guidance is patient. We beg God for a sign, begging for a voice from the clouds, while the manual for our life sits collecting dust on the shelf. Angels often point us back to the written word, because the answer was recorded centuries ago. A man knelt by his bed, desperate. "God, please, just say one word to me." The angel of truth pointed a finger at the closed book on the nightstand. "He has already written you 66 love letters," the angel whispered. "You are asking for a new text message when you haven't read the old emails. Open the book. The specific answer to your problem is highlighted in yellow on page 204 from 5 years ago. Read it again. 40. The philosophy of the sudden chill. Spiritual proximity changes the temperature. When you are reading a book or watching TV and suddenly feel a cold spot or a shiver that isn't from the AC, it is often a loved one visiting from the other side. A widow sat knitting and suddenly pulled her shawl tighter. "Drafty in here," she mumbled, though the windows were closed. Her guardian angel smiled, watching her late husband stand beside her chair, trying to touch her shoulder. "It is not a draft," the angel whispered. "It is a visit. The veil is lifting for a moment. He is standing right there. Don't close the window. Open your heart. Say hello." 41. The philosophy of the wrong turn. Getting lost is often a divine appointment. We rely on GPS, but when technology fails and we end up on a strange street, it is because our presence and our light was needed in that specific dark corner. A driver cursed his GPS as he ended up in a run-down neighborhood. "Why am I here? This looks dangerous," he panicked. The warrior angel sat alert in the back seat. "I scrambled the signal," the angel revealed. "See that house on the left? A child inside is praying for safety. I needed you to drive past so the light from your spirit could push back the darkness surrounding that home. You are not lost. You are on a secret mission. Pray as you drive." Baphomet. 42. The philosophy of the spilled coffee. Imperfection is the crack where grace enters. We strive for a perfect day, but when we spill coffee on our white shirt, we feel ruined. It is a reminder that we are human, and that is okay. A young woman stared at the brown stain on her blouse before a meeting. "I look like a mess. I am a mess," she cried. The angel of grace wiped a tear from her cheek. "You are human," the angel said gently. "The stain does not define your worth. Walk into that meeting with your head high. Perfection is a statue. Humanity is a living, breathing, messy thing. People connect with your mess, not your mask." 43. The philosophy of the forgotten name. Humility is a reset button. When we run into someone and cannot remember their name, we feel embarrassed. But this awkwardness is a lesson to stop focusing on labels and start connecting with souls. A politician stuttered, unable to recall the name of his supporter. "This is humiliating," he thought. The angel of connection whispered, "Forget the name tag. Look at his eyes. Feel his energy. Names are for the mind. Connection is for the heart. Ask him how his heart is doing, and the name won't matter. Humility makes you approachable." 44. The philosophy of the empty nest. Silence is a new canvas. Parents fear the day the children leave, seeing the empty rooms as a void. But spiritually, it is the beginning of the second act, a time to rediscover the person you were before you were mom or dad. A mother sat in her son's clean, empty room, feeling the echo of the house. "It is too quiet," she wept. The angel of purpose opened the curtains to let the sun in. "It is not empty," the angel corrected. "It is spacious. You have spent 20 years pouring out. Now you have the space to pour in. Pick up the paintbrush you dropped. Open the business you delayed. Your job is not done. Your role has just evolved." 45. The philosophy of the sunset endings are illusions. We watch the sun go down and call it night, but on the other side of the world, they call it morning. Death and endings are just a shift in perspective. An old man watched the sun dip below the horizon with a heavy heart, thinking of his own mortality. "Everything ends," he sighed. The angel of eternity stood beside him. "Nothing ends," the angel whispered. "The sun did not die. It just moved to shine on a new land. When you close your eyes in this world, you open them in mine. Do not fear the sunset. It is just the sunrise seen from the back." 46. The philosophy of the loose change. Value is not in size but in substance. We ignore the penny on the street, thinking it worthless. But finding money is a universal sign that the universe is providing for you, starting small to build your faith for the big. A teenager kicked a penny across the sidewalk. "What can I do with 1 cent?" he scoffed. The angel of abundance picked it up spiritually. "You ask for millions, but you disrespect the one," the angel taught. "This is a seed. If you cannot be grateful for the penny, you will not be ready for the fortune. Pick it up. Say thank you. The flow starts with a drip." 47. The philosophy of the thunderstorm. Power is meant to humble us. We build our cities and think we are gods until a storm shakes our windows. The thunder is the voice of the Creator reminding us of our proper place in the universe. A family huddled together as thunder rattled the house. The father looked worried. "Nature is scary," he said. The angel of majesty stood on the roof, watching the lightning. "It is not to scare you, but to resize you," the angel said. "You worry about small things like money and status. The storm comes to show you how small those things are compared to the power of God. Be humble, and you will be safe." 48. The philosophy of the broken promise. Disappointment is a redirection of trust. When humans let us down, it hurts. But it is a harsh lesson that we should never put our total foundation on flesh and blood. People fail. The divine does not. A girl cried into her pillow because her friend broke a vow. "I can't trust anyone," she sobbed. The guardian angel sat on the edge of the bed. "You were leaning too hard on a human," the angel whispered. "Humans are fragile. They break. I allowed this crack so you would move your weight onto the rock that never moves. Forgive her for being human, and put your trust where it belongs." 49. The philosophy of the travel itch. Wanderlust is a search for the self. When we feel a sudden, desperate need to travel, to go somewhere new, it is often because we have lost ourselves in our routine. We are not looking for a new city. We are looking for a new perspective. A man stared at a map of Italy, feeling trapped in his office. "I just need to get away," he dreamed. The angel of the journey touched his forehead. "You are not trying to escape your city. You are trying to escape your routine," the angel said. "Go if you can. But remember, if you don't change your heart, you will just be the same sad man eating pasta in Rome. The real journey is inward." 50. The philosophy of 11:11. Alignment is a wink from God. When you glance at the clock and see 11:11, 2:22, or 3:33, do not ignore it. It is a momentary synchronization between your timeline and the divine timeline. A busy nurse paused, seeing 11:11 on the digital clock. "I see this every day. Weird," she thought. Her guardian angel smiled radiantly. "It is not weird, it is a checkpoint," the angel confirmed. "In this exact minute, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. You are not behind. You are not failing. We are synchronized. Take a breath. You are on the right path." 51. The philosophy of the tangled wire. Complexity is a test of patience. We pull our headphones or charger cables out of our pockets, and they are a knotted mess. We tug angrily. But the angel watches to see if we will force the knot and break the wire, or patiently unravel it. A teenager grunted, pulling violently at a knot in his earbuds. Why does this always happen? The angel of patience sat calmly beside him. Your life is like this wire, the angel taught. You have knots in your relationships and your finances. If you pull hard and fast with anger, you will break the connection. You must be gentle. Loosen the loop slowly. The knot is not a stop sign. It is a request for gentleness. 52. The philosophy of the forgotten password. Identity is easily lost. We panic when we are locked out of our accounts, unable to prove who we are to a machine. But spiritually, we often forget the password to access heaven. Gratitude. A woman stared at the red text on her screen. Access denied. She felt a surge of helplessness. I can't remember who I am to this computer, the angel of identity whispered. You worry about accessing your email, but you have forgotten how to access your peace. The password to my realm never changes, and it requires no capital letters. It is simply, thank you. Speak it, and the server of heaven opens. 53. The philosophy of the overflowing trash. Letting go is a daily discipline. We hate taking out the garbage. It is heavy and smells. But if we don't, the house becomes unlivable. We often hoard emotional trash, old insults, regrets, refusing to walk them to the curb. A man dragged a heavy black bag to the curb, grimacing at the weight. I have too much junk, he panted. The angel of purity walked beside him. You are diligent with your kitchen trash, the angel observed, but your heart is a landfill. You are still carrying the insult from 1995 and the failure from 2010. Tonight, I want you to bag up those memories and leave them here on the curb. Walk back into the house light. Let me be the garbage collector. 54. The philosophy of the stubborn jar. Lid. Self-reliance has a limit. We struggle, red-faced, trying to twist open a jar, refusing to ask for help until our hands hurt. It represents our pride in trying to handle life's pressure alone. A grandmother gripped a jar of sauce, her hands shaking, unable to break the seal. She felt weak and old. The angel of strength placed a hand over hers. You are trying to use muscle, but you need leverage, the angel said softly. You have been fighting your battles with your own weak hands for too long. Ask me. Tap the lid with prayer. The seal is held by pressure. It is released by faith. 55. The philosophy of the house plant. Relationships need water, not just presence. We buy a plant, put it in a corner, and ignore it until it turns brown. Then we wonder why it died. We do the same with people. We assume they are fine just because they are in the room. A woman touched the dry, brown leaf of her fern. I forgot about you, she said guiltily. The angel of nurture stood by the window. It did not die from bad soil. It died from neglect, the angel reminded her. Call your sister. Text your son. Love is not a cactus. It cannot survive a drought. Water them today with a kind word before they wither. 56. The philosophy of the wrong number. Interruption is opportunity. When the phone rings and it is a stranger looking for someone else, we get annoyed. But sometimes the angel dialed that number because the person on the other end desperately needed to hear a human voice, even for a second. A man answered his phone, then snapped, "You have the wrong number," and hung up. The angel of kindness looked at him with sad eyes. That woman was dialing through tears, the angel revealed. She was lonely and confused. I connected her to you not because you knew her name, but because I hoped you would show her grace. Next time, be gentle. You might be the only voice she hears today. 57. The philosophy of the loose button. Resilience hangs by a thread. We notice a button dangling on our coat and think, it will hold. It represents the fragile parts of our lives, our sanity, our patience, that we ignore until they snap. A businessman looked at the loose button on his cuff. I'll fix it later, he thought. The angel of preparation whispered, fix it now. If you lose the button, the coat will not close and the cold will get in. You are ignoring the small warnings in your marriage, thinking it will hold. Reinforce the thread now, before the winter comes. 58. The philosophy of the echo. Karma is acoustic. When we shout in an empty hall, our voice comes back to us. We complain about how the world treats us, forgetting that the world is often just an echo of how we treat it. A boy shouted, I hate you, into a canyon and heard the words bounce back. He flinched. The angel of justice stood at the edge of the cliff. The canyon does not judge. It only returns, the angel explained. If you want love to come back to you, you must shout love. You are standing in the center of your own echo. Change your voice, and you change your life. 59. The philosophy of the foggy window. Vision requires wiping. We cannot drive safely when the windshield is fogged up. We must turn on the defroster. Doubt is the fog that gathers on the glass of our faith when the temperature outside drops. A driver squinted through the mist on the glass, unable to see the road markings. It's too dangerous to drive, he panicked. The angel of clarity pointed to the controls. Turn on the heat, the angel instructed. The fog is cold. The heat is faith. When you cannot see your future, do not stop the car. Warm up your spirit with prayer. The condensation will vanish, and the road will appear. 60. The philosophy of the sneezing fit. Release is a reflex. A sneeze is violent and sudden, expelling irritants. Sometimes an emotional outburst, a sudden cry, a shout, is just the soul sneezing out a toxin that was trying to settle in. A girl sneezed 3 times in a row, her eyes watering. Bless you, said a stranger. The angel of health smiled. Your body knows how to reject what doesn't belong, the angel said. Why don't you let your soul do the same? You are holding in the grief. Let it out. Cry. Scream if you must. It is better to have a messy release than a clean infection. 61. The philosophy of the unmatched. Sock. Perfection is not required for function. We search for the matching sock, frustrated when we have to wear 2 different ones, but they both keep our feet warm. God often uses imperfect, unmatched circumstances to get the job done. A man sighed, putting on 1 black sock and 1 navy blue sock. I look ridiculous. The angel of utility laughed softly. No one seizes your feet inside your shoes, the angel said. You are waiting for the perfect time and the perfect partner to start your mission. But I can use you right now. Mismatched and messy. You still keep the cold out. Walk. 62. The philosophy of the frozen computer. Rest is mandatory. When a computer freezes, pressing more buttons only makes it worse. The only fix is a hard reboot, turning it off completely. A writer banged on her keyboard as the screen froze. Come on! I have a deadline. The angel of rest unplugged the power cord spiritually. You are frozen because you have too many tabs open in your brain, the angel said. Clicking harder won't fix you. You need to shut down. Sleep is not a waste of time. It is a system reboot. Go to bed. You will run faster in the morning. 63. The philosophy of the strange scent. Memory is a spiritual gateway. Suddenly smelling pipe tobacco, vanilla, or a specific perfume when no one is there is a visitation. The olfactory sense is the strongest link to memory and spirit. A woman stopped in her hallway, smelling roses in the dead of winter. "Grandma," she whispered. Her guardian angel stood beaming in the corridor. "She brought flowers," the angel confirmed. "She cannot knock on the door, so she knocks on your memory. Breathe it in. This is not a hallucination. It is a hello." 64. The philosophy of the heavy door. Strength is built by resistance. Some doors are heavy and require our full weight to open. We complain about the struggle, but God designed the heavy door to build the muscle we will need for what is inside. A student pushed against the library door, struggling with his heavy bag. "Why make these doors so heavy?" The angel of power pushed with him. "If the door were light, any wind could blow it open," the angel taught. "The treasure inside is valuable. The struggle to enter prepares you to handle the weight of the wisdom you seek. Push harder. You are getting stronger." 65. The philosophy of the dead end. Protection looks like a wall. We drive down a street and hit a cul-de-sac, forced to turn around. We feel wasted time. But the angel blocked the through road because an accident was waiting for us a mile ahead. A courier cursed, hitting a dead end. "Now I have to go all the way back." The angel of direction sat on the hood. "I built this wall," the angel said calmly. "The road you wanted led to a cliff. I turned you around to save you. Do not hate the no. It is often a live." 66. The philosophy of the scratch on the car. Scars are stories of survival. We obsess over a scratch on our new car. But in the spiritual realm, it is a mark that we interacted with the world and survived. A pristine car has never been anywhere. A man rubbed the scratch on his fender, upset. "It's ruined." The angel of the journey shook his head. "It is used," the angel corrected. "You want a life without scratches? Then you must stay in the garage forever. But ships are built for the sea and cars for the road. The scratch means you went somewhere. Wear it as a badge of motion." 67. The philosophy of the falling leaf. Death is a form of giving. We see autumn leaves falling as dying. But the tree knows that by letting the leaf go, it feeds the soil that will nourish the roots for the next spring. Letting go nourishes your future. A woman watched a leaf fall, feeling a sense of melancholy. Everything dies eventually. The angel of cycles stood under the tree. "The leaf is not dying, it is donating," the angel whispered. "It falls to become food for the roots. The relationship you lost, the job you left, let it fall and rot. It will become the fertilizer for your new season. Nothing is wasted." 68. The philosophy of the uncomfortable silence. Truth speaks in the gap. In a conversation, when silence falls, we rush to fill it with nervous chatter. But the angel is trying to create a space for the truth to land. Two friends sat at a table, the conversation dying out. One started to talk about the weather, just to stop the quiet. The angel of truth put a finger to his lips. "Hush," the angel signaled. "You are talking to avoid feeling. Let the silence sit there. In the quiet, you will realize that you both need to say, 'I'm sorry.' The noise hides the heart. The silence reveals it." 69. The philosophy of the spider web. Structure is invisible. We walk into a spider web and brush it off, annoyed. but it reminds us that there are invisible networks and traps all around us that we cannot see until we touch them. A hiker wiped a web from his face. "Gross," the angel of discernment warned. "You walked into that because you were not looking," the angel said. "The enemy sets invisible traps for your soul every day. Pride, greed, lust. You only feel them when you are already stuck. Walk with your spiritual eyes open, not just your physical ones." 70. The philosophy of the locked knee. Flexibility is survival. When we stand with our knees locked, we faint. We must keep our knees soft to absorb shock. A rigid spirit breaks. A flexible spirit survives. A soldier stood at attention, his knees locked tight, and suddenly felt dizzy. The angel of flexibility tapped his leg. "Bend," the angel commanded. "If you are too rigid in your beliefs and your plans, life will knock you over. You must learn to bend without breaking. Soften your stance. God cannot move a statue. He moves a man." My friends, we have walked through the landscape of your daily life together, from the tangled wire in your pocket to the sudden chill in the room, from the frustration of a traffic jam to the peace of a 3 a.m. silence. I hope you now see the truth that has been hidden in plain sight. You are not walking a lonely path. The world tries to tell you that you are just a face in the crowd, abandoned to chance. But the 70 signs we discussed today prove otherwise. You are being watched over, guided and loved with a detail that is beyond human comprehension. Your guardian angel is not just a bodyguard for emergencies. They are a companion for the mundane. They are in the details. Now I have a simple but powerful request for you. Do not let this activation fade away when this video ends. Anchor it. Make it real. I want you to scroll down to the comments right now and declare your trust. Simply write your birth month and the phrase, "I am never alone." Example: October, I am never alone. By writing it down, you are signing a spiritual contract with yourself and your protector. And if you felt a shift in your spirit today, if you felt that warm hand on your shoulder, then subscribe to Revelation in Prophecy. Click that notification bell. Not just to support the channel, but to keep your spiritual frequency tuned to the truth. We are building a sanctuary here, and there is a seat waiting for you. In our next video, we will unveil the 3 warning signs your angel is trying to stop you from a mistake. You do not want to miss that. Until then, may your eyes be open to the signs. May your heart be open to the guidance, and may you walk in the absolute certainty that you are divinely protected. This is Revelation in Prophecy. God bless you.